is replicated for profound reasons, and that I don't believe in specifying what the outcomes should be, but because that's up to every nation state, that's up to every community, that's how democracy works, should work, and I believe in a vision of global democracy. But when you look at the Enlightenment idea of what are universal rights, they're God-given rights to autonomy, to self-determination, to equality, to justice, to dignity, and liberty, freedom of expression.
Okay, question up here, yes.
I wanted to pick up on Germaine's point about the idea of the women's liberation movement and go back to some of the point around that. One of the things that we pushed when we talked about women's liberation, and I agree with Germaine, we've got a lot of work to do, was that the personal should become political. Unfortunately, I think the political's become almost entirely personal. So one of the things I want to try and do, since we've got all of these people labelled feminists in this audience, that we actually try, and I'd love for the panel to say, how do we actually recreate a political movement where we make changes, and what can we do to start on that sort of process? Because I just think otherwise we are going backwards, and everybody having a nice orgasmic feminist experience here has to be followed through. So can we please have some follow through from the panel?
Okay. Okay, I'm going to ask Clem to follow up on that first. What do you think about that idea?
I actually just wanted to make a brief comment, which may earn me howls of derision, but I'll say it anyway, and that is that some male-identifying people and trans men can have babies. I think it's murky territory to say that only women can do a certain thing.
Thank you.
Sure, I'm sure it's in the it may well be in the minority, but I did just want to say that. Look, I think that what Naomi was saying before with the number 3 microphone is true. I think that we do sometimes get kind of hobbled by this idea that we're waiting for somebody else to say something, do something, come up with this political framework. I mean, I would like to see, and I think there has been a real return to kind of grassroots activism in feminism. I think there's some interesting stuff happening online.
Yeah, one of our questioners actually made that point, that older generations of feminists might not be aware of how much feminism is happening online.
Because they're typing with the circling two-fingered eagle technique and they can't get there. Yeah, but I think that is true. I think there's some interesting stuff happening, particularly online. I think blogs and, I guess Facebook and other places on the internet are becoming interesting sites of organising.
Okay, Germaine.
Actually, Eva, I would like to make a very old-fashioned suggestion. And you're all going to go, what? Is she nuts? And I'm going to suggest that there is an organisation which is fairly broad-based and could get broader. I think it's got 22,000 members. It has become extremely active on the question of coal seam gas. And that being a personal issue has become a very political issue for them. And what I would suggest is that feminists join them. The institution I'm referring to is the Country Women's Association.